you ever had the feeling that somebody was watching you? There's that feeling at the base of your skull that something just isn't quite right. Sure, you can chalk it up to just your imagination, but there are other times when that feeling is completely justified. And that's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. It's all about stalkers. And yeah, I'm going here.
If your power goes out, remain.
Welcome to the graveyard.
Everyone in the theater went, oh!
No, I don't smoke cigs.
You can't just sit down and watch it.
Take personal security precautions to avoid becoming a victim of an attack.
This is the Supernaturals podcast on the SPN network.
What's up, everybody? It is the Supernaturals back again. Season 3. We're your hosts, Jake and Cal.
Another week.
Here we go. Just marching along, aren't we?
I thought we were going to say the same thing there for a second.
Yeah.
Had to jinx you.
Just not on that wavelength yet.
No, we aren't.
Can't finish each other's sentences, so
Not made for each
says a lot about us.
Not made
To be partners.
Yeah. Crazy.
Professionally.
Yeah. Obviously.
We're straight. So. Anyway. We have talked about ex-girlfriends how many times on this
Yeah, now that we've gotten that out of the way.
Anyway, yeah.
Welcome back.
And yeah, as you know, I said before in the cold open, we're actually going to be looking at some very real stalker stories today. And I'm not just talking like, real, like, I, found them online or something. No, honey. These are real deal stalker stories that you guys have sent us. We've 3 pretty big doozies here today, and it is pretty wild. Cannot wait to share. But before we dive into that, Jake, I want to ask you something, man. You ever had a stalker?
Personally?
Yeah.
I have not.
You ever experienced anything to do with a stalker?
I mean, I've felt like I've been followed before,
Yeah.
but nothing to an extent of like people finding me online, finding where I live. All the chilling tales that you hear all over.
Yeah.
Has not happened to me. And hopefully will not happen to me.
Yeah.
Because
right.
I don't want to deal with that. I feel bad for people that have. It's something nobody should have to go through at all.
Yeah.
But the most like followed I've ever felt is when you're kind of driving and you see someone behind you for a while.
Yeah.
And you're like, if I turn right and they turn right, I'm going to be a little weirded out. And then they do. And you're like, let me make a left or another right or wherever you're going, right? Mm-hmm. And then that car just goes the same way you do. And you're just like, this is a little strange. Why are they going the exact same way?
Yeah.
And you keep going, and they're still behind you. And then they peel off into another road, and you're like, "Oh, thank God!
Yeah.
Oh, thank God!"
What I always found kind of funny, because I've done that before too, and it's so funny because I actually did that when I moved up here in Denver for the first time. You
followed somebody?
No, somebody followed me, and what I thought.
Yeah.
So instead of going into like, they followed me into like the cul-de-sac and all that stuff, and I was just like, bro, what? Well, I had driven past it just to make sure. And they turned into the cul-de-sac, and I found out it's just one of our neighbors.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I have been on the other side where you're following a car and you're like, I hope they don't think
Yeah.
I'm following them because
Yeah.
I'm just going the exact same way.
you start to think about it, like maybe you gotta catch them like looking in their rear view, or like their head turns, and you're just like, I'm not following you.
You're like, I'm just trying to get home.
going to the same spot. I'm sorry.
I just live in this apartment.
Yeah, so it's funny.
Like Josh's story.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've never, like, I guess, had anything to do with like a stalker. Like, it doesn't, I've never been stalked.
We've had some weirdos online, but nothing crazy.
I don't count that. I think like weird interactions with.
It's like when you first meet somebody and they just get attached and clingy to you, and
I mean,
you don't let them go, or you don't text them back. You kind of leave them on red or whatever, because they're getting weird.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and you're going, this is a little strange. And then they show up on your doorstep.
Yeah.
You didn't give them your address.
No, see, that's like stalker.
Right.
I'm talking like, I've had that where I've been involved with girls before who I felt they came off a little too clingy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't hold that against them.
No,
I don't.
not at all.
Like I've been there. I think everybody's been there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's a little too clingy, I think, when we first start dating.
It's the lust factor.
Yeah, you don't really know how to handle it. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has to go through a little phase where they're just kind of weird. So I don't hold that against anybody. I think if you're a little,
the modern day Instagram stalking, because that's technically stalking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it seems like everybody does it.
I have no issue with people checking on my Instagram account.
Yeah.
I don't. If you want to check on my I mean, it's on there for a reason. I posted stuff for you.
What about when your friends or even people you've shared your location with are like, yeah, I was just checking to see where you were.
Yeah, we have that. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
It blows me away sometimes. I'm just like, you were?
I do love when I'm leaving the house. I just leave the house to go get gas or something, and then I just get a call from our buddy, and he's like, "Why are you like not at your house?" I don't know, man.
Why are you looking at my
checking
location?
on my stuff? No, but I think it's nice though, because if I do ever get, somehow like in a pickle, at least I do know that somebody is always checking my location.
Yeah.
Because I don't check my friends' locations unless we're like out on the town or something.
Yeah, you're just like, did they get home? Did they?
Yeah.
Are they close to where we're meeting or something like that? Right?
Yeah.
That's
But
like the only time I really check locations too.
I think Instagram stalking, I'm not concerned with that at all. I don't think it's, I'm wrong. I don't think it's creepy.
It's like, it's almost a background check before meeting somebody. It's also like, it could be. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. It's also like, I just met you. I'm going to check out your stuff, see what you're about.
Yeah.
Right?
I get that.
And you go to their profiles, you look through all their crap. You accidentally like one of their photos. Or purposefully like one of their photos from 5 years back so they notice.
Yeah. It's actually funny. I there's one time I was in high school. I really liked this girl, man. Really liked her. She was way out of my league. And I was just like, dude, there's no way. And I mean, yeah, I was hanging out with a bunch of dudes. Like we were all just chilling, drinking, whatever. Water, because we were in high school. And
drinking that soda pop.
It just like clicked. And
we went to Sonic
water,
and got a big what did they have?
Slushy.
Yeah.
Just got a slushy. Yeah, that's what it was. So no, but anyway, we were sitting there and they were like, oh yeah, I think one of my other buddies was like, yeah, dude, Cal's way into this girl and stuff. And they were like, oh, pull up her Instagram. And I was like, I don't actually know what it is. But they found her. And they go, here,
some people
look.
are really good at that.
Yeah, well, they go, just follow her. And I was like, all right, screw it. I'll follow her or whatever. So I followed her. She followed back.
Hell yeah.
And all the boys were like, yeah, it's fucking, and I thought
it's hype. It's hype.
It is hype. It's cool. You're always happy for your boy. And
because you're not a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
You're not a fan. It's like when you maybe you go to school with them or you're kind of acquaintances or friends with them and you follow them and they don't follow you back. It's like, I'm not a fan of you. I'm not trying to not be engaged with you if you're not engaged with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I get that.
Like, if I'm following someone, it's because I know you, or I am actually a fan of you. Like, I follow a couple DJs, I follow some famous actors, right?
Yeah.
If I follow someone I met at school and they don't follow me back, I probably will eventually unfollow you because I don't care to see your stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
I can understand that. I was just saying, basically, it was funny though to finish the story off that, all the boys were hyped and stuff, and then they were like, dude, just go back and like one of her posts, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. That's weird. And,
like from a while ago.
Yeah, dude. They actually they caught me off guard. They freaking took my phone. I went to try to get them. Mind you, at the time I was like 315, still playing football. Bro, it took like
Cal didn't
6
care.
of
He
the
was like,
guys.
it's fine.
No. I was scared out of my ass, bro. They freaking like tackled my shit, and I was they pinned me on the ground, dude. And my buddy, I saw my phone on the floor, and the last one that was up went over, grabbed the phone, and he went back and liked like 3 of her posts. And then he sat there and he put down the phone and he goes, now you have to DM her. And I go, sure enough, I did. I literally, I DM'd her. I said, hey, oh my God. I said, hey, I'm so sorry. My friends just did this. I really apologize. I know you probably don't buy it or whatever. And she actually was like, no, you're all good. She's like, that was kind of funny. And then she's just, we became really good friends after that, actually. Me and that girl. So
it's funny in like the high school days where you would like more back in, I guess, the Facebook era, where you'd sit there and you were attracted to somebody and you're just like, I'm gonna like a couple things so they get the attention, and it kind of starts something. Yeah. It's just kind of crazy how like that social interaction can start things.
Just like.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I think that if somebody likes your post when you just post something, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
But if you go back, you like their stuff. I mean, my whole thing. When
it's intentional.
It's intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dated this girl, and we broke up and got back together like 3 times. And every time it started with her liking one of my old posts.
And I find that so fascinating because it's like she has your number, she can text you, she can call you.
Well, there's a reason why it didn't work out. So.
Yeah. Well, I know
because I'm more of the like, hey, how are you? Like just shoot the shot. But instead,
what just happened to me?
Yeah, but instead, most people are like, well, we'll send a like because it's better.
You don't talk to someone for a while. It's easier to send a text than just like creep on their Instagram and like something 5 years ago.
Yeah,
at least to me.
I fully agree. Anyway, yeah. So that's the moral of the story. We don't really,
we haven't
really experienced any stalking, and I guess I'm curious to know what you all think about Instagram and stalking. And I guess the line has become a bit more blurred, right? The stalking line with the rise of social media. So that's something that we could talk about. But that could be a whole episode.
Yeah. If you put your stuff online, people are going to see it.
Yeah, it's true.
That's how it goes.
It is how it goes. So anyway, all right. So these stories that we're about to read, you guys, are truly chilling. Okay, so before we start, if you are sensitive to stalker stories or things like that, well, pretty big disclaimer. These stories will definitely make the hair on your neck stand up. So without further ado, let's begin with the first of our stalker stories.
All right. Story number 1. Mm-hmm. The story is about my dad's ex-girlfriend. My dad has horrible luck with women. He is like a crazy magnet.
I get how that feels.
You just draw the crazies.
Yeah.
It's that crazy hot scale.
I like it, though.
But it's more of just the crazy scale.
It's definitely a problem that I don't meet until...
We talked about that literally this morning.
What?
Just how you always attract like crazy girls, and
you never notice until it's like too late.
Yeah.
So, but for some reason, yeah, it just happens.
It's just so funny. It cracks me up because the one night at Mile High, that girl was.
I'm getting a little too old for that shit, though. If I'm being honest with you.
100%.
I'm getting too old, man. I need to settle down.
That girl was insane.
Yeah, I don't need girls jumping on tables and dancing around and shit.
And trying to beat people up for other people talking to you.
Yeah, that's
the
insane.
most wild thing ever.
Hey, all right, let's proceed. Let's proceed.
Sorry, we could go into that too. We have a lot of fun, interesting stories, but maybe we'll do bonus episodes.
Today's about you guys,
Yeah.
so let's go.
Every woman he has ever dated, except his current girlfriend, has been abusive both mentally and physically. And I can personally relate to that, not by my own experience, but people I know, so I understand. This list includes my mother, but this story is about his last girlfriend, Mary. She has gone from stalking not only him, but also me, my husband, and our daughter too. Now that is insane.
That is insane.
It's not just the person they're at, it's their whole world.
Whole family.
Yeah, that's wild. They met at a Christmas party and hit it off. He had just gotten out of another bad relationship with a different woman that he had been on and off with for 3 years. She was the classic narcissist type. Well, Mary seemed different. She claimed she was also just out of an abusive relationship as well. They went out for a few months, but she never let my dad come over to her place. Red flag. It's like, can I come over? No, let's just go to your house. It's like every time.
That's weird.
You'd be like, what are they hiding there?
Absolutely.
Jeffrey Dahmer type shit.
Yeah, right.
He didn't find that weird at all until he received a call from a man who said Mary was his wife and wanted to know how my dad knew her. At first, though, my dad believed the guy was her ex, still trying to control her. But things started to add up. He finally confronted Mary and she gave him some sort of sob story about how her ex was refusing to sign the papers, but they were separated. Dad did a little bit of digging and even talked to Mary's parents at one point. He found out not only was Mary definitely still married, but she wasn't even separated from her husband. As far as everyone in her life knew, she was happily married and my dad was just a friend, if they knew about him at all. Some adultery going on here.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this story is already so wild and we're a paragraph in.
Yeah, right.
We haven't even gotten to the actual stalking aspect of it. Needless to say, he broke up with her. She lost it. Started showing up at his work, calling in the middle of the night, texting him 50 times a day. All the good stuff. My dad moved states twice and changed his number several times to try and get away from her, but she still always found him. Love letters would arrive in the mail, and she would call and say she was coming to see him. Then she found my phone number, probably sometime after my dad moved in with me. She started texting me almost as much as him. Once I married my husband and had my daughter, she really went all out, sending me presents for her new granddaughter, always wanting updates and the like. I never replied and either sent back unopened packages or donated the items she had sent directly to me from shops.
Bro,
That's a little aggressive. That's a little aggressive.
You're not with the guy that you're dating. Or okay, so you're not with
anymore, yeah.
You're not with the guy that you were dating anymore for a while now. And
you found
out that the girl that your ex's daughter had a baby,
which could be through Facebook or Instagram.
And you decide to not only call her your granddaughter,
that is insane, borderline insane,
but send her freaking texts and presents and things like that. Oh hell no! You're getting a restraining order.
You just like pull up your phone. You're like, God damn, she texted again. It's only 8 a.m.
Just block that ass. Dude.
You would think, right? You would think.
And you probably did, and they'll probably find another way to get a hold of you.
Everything finally came to a head when she arrived on my dad's doorstep while he was at work with a casserole for him. She gave it to his roommate and told him it was because she noticed my dad was losing weight. He told his roommate to toss it. He didn't want to risk poison since he had just applied for a restraining order. The same night, she showed up at my apartment while my husband worked the overnight shift. It was just a little after 1 a.m. when she started knocking on my door. I was glad that I had sent my toddler to my aunt and uncle's for the night when I saw it was her. She left banana bread on my doorstep. We threw it out as soon as my husband got home. The next night, I again left my toddler with my aunt and uncle just in case she came back. Now the fact that you're like scared for your child's life now too.
Yeah.
God, how is she finding your apartment? Like,
It's the most
just insane.
me personally, it's on site.
Yeah.
Like you come to like,
You think a restraining order is going to stop this woman? I don't think so.
No, if she keeps coming to the door, I'm sorry, it's over. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Yeah,
Leave
no,
my
that's-
freaking kid
that's
out of this, man.
Literally.
Hell no.
Well, to the surprise of no one, she did. I started getting texts from her as she pounded on my door. She wanted to see her grandbaby
Yeah, no.
and have some girl time with me.
Nah.
They slowly devolved into demands for me to open the door. I called the cops, as you should. While I was on the phone with dispatch, my neighbor came out ready to take her on. Good on your neighbor.
That's what I'm saying. You
It's
have.
like, are you okay? Like,
this is a kind of person who just needs to get their ass beat.
and this is why you need some Ring doorbell cams.
It's true, but I'm
Right.
trying to say, like, okay, growing up in the country, everybody was pretty like humble because you would have like, I mean, look, let's be real. The parents out there, like my parents, like, bro, you acting a fool, you get smacked upside the head.
Oh, yeah.
You can obviously overdo it, but like these people are some people just need to get their ass beat. And I think everybody knows that that's the truth. Entitled people like this, they just need like a reality check.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you are not indestructible. You are not untouchable.
Yeah.
You can't just do
Can't
whatever
just show
the hell
up on
you
my
want.
doorstep.
Yeah, you create this fantasy in your head.
If I didn't invite you.
Yeah, somebody needs to just knock it out of you. I don't know. Me personally, nobody's. You come into my house with my kid there, and you're making demands like no, it's over. No way.
My neighbor told the cops were on the way since his wife was already calling them. She disappeared pretty quick into the park across the street. The cops didn't catch her, but my dad's restraining order did get granted. We have since moved across the state, but she still texts me from time to time wanting to know how my dad is or what my daughter is up to. I never answer, but I do save all her texts just in case I have to get my own restraining order as well.
I mean, why would you not?
Yeah,
No offense, but
I would.
do it. Just do it. Also, make sure you have a baseball bat or just a shoddy.
Literally, just be
Yeah.
prepared. You
You
never
have
know
to.
what could happen.
Somebody who's mentally unstable like this, like I said,
I know. Well, I hope that she isn't in your life anymore. And if she is, just be ready because, as we say on this show, head on a swivel,
head on a swivel.
as always,
As always.
and be prepared for anything.
It is true. Yeah, no, Stalker is such an interesting situation. First of all, thanks for sending us that
Yeah.
story. But
Yes, thank you.
second of all, and it is such an interesting type of thing to deal with because they are another human being and they're not doing something that's like violent towards you yet.
Right.
And so
Yeah, there was no acts of violence. It was just obsession.
Yeah. And so it kind of feels like, the unfortunate thing about it is that I do know there's a lot of cases where people can't do anything about a stalker because
They haven't done
they
anything.
haven't done anything.
Right.
I do know there's certain states that do have stalking as a crime.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're able, like if you catch somebody staring at you and stuff, you can get them
Mm-hmm.
arrested. But I know that's not everywhere. Yeah. So I mean, it's tough. It is a tricky situation. And
You do bring up a good point with not being able to do anything though, but you're like scared for your life and your family's life.
yeah.
And not being able to do anything because they actually haven't really done anything
Yeah.
besides just show up and try and give you gifts
Yeah.
in this story specifically. But you're still sitting there like dreading the moment she's coming to the door.
Yeah.
And wondering, is she going to be there every freaking night? Like
Yeah.
you probably don't sleep a lot.
Yeah.
Like that ruins your mental health quickly.
That's the thing is like the police and stuff, I would say they probably don't understand what you're going through
right.
yourself. Right. So
Right.
they're not going to be all like ready to go and try to help you out if they even can.
Right.
But that's why like certain stories, this is what I'm trying to say, is like you might have to take matters into your own hands and just be prepared for anything. You can't go out and just like, beat the shit out of them. Like, I mean, you can't throw the first punch.
That's assault.
That would be assault. Then you would get arrested. But it is like, you need to be prepared, because if they come to your house and bro, did you see that video? Dude with the big bushy eyebrows. It was a Ring camera. And he comes walking up to this house, and it's like viral as hell right now.
Oh, is that the one where he's asking about the daughter?
Yeah, and he starts screaming.
I just watched the video last night, actually. I saw him at the Ring doorbell, and then he got in the house. And then the dad he got home or whatever, and he had a shovel. Yeah.
I get that the dad's a better man than me, because he talked him down and then got him arrested. If you actually break into somebody's house, I'm sorry, you're gone. It's over. Yeah. Like it's you can't do that shit. You can't just break into somebody's house and expect to be.
It's my
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
People they're forgetting that there's consequences for your actions.
Right. This is your home.
This is your house. This is your area. You cannot break into somebody's house and expect not to get.
It's like the famous line of Home Alone. It's my house and I have to defend it.
Yeah, it's true. It's your place. You can't. You have no choice, dude.
Oh, I know.
Anyway,
it's crazy. It's so funny that you bring that video up, because I literally just watched it last night and I was like, dude, this guy is insane.
Oh, he's nuts. I know this episode's going to come out a bit later, but you guys probably know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you probably will.
Yeah,
because it's everywhere.
Go look it up. It's wild. Anyway, let's dive into story numero dos. I think I, female, was 22 years old when this happened. I worked in a grocery store which had been featured in the news. You could see me in the clip, and it was clear where I worked. I just came back from vacation, and a coworker told me that some guy had been coming around every day for a week asking for me. When I asked who the guy was or why they told me, they had no idea, but he was around my age and seemed a little bit off. A few hours had passed by that day, and my coworker came and told me that the guy was back and was asking for me. Let's call him James. I can't actually remember his name anyways. In the back room, we had a computer, and you could see all the camera footage from all over the store. I looked and didn't recognize who James was, but decided to go ask what he wanted. He was clearly drunk and said that he had seen me on TV and wanted to ask me out. I replied with, "I'm sorry, but I'm in a relationship," even though I was actually single. That's my move as well.
Just say that. Yeah.
It's my default response when I'm out at the bars.
If you're not interested in them,
it's
I'm taken.
Yeah.
I mean, and most people will probably respect it. Most people.
Yeah. I said I needed to get back to work, and he asked me if he should come with me. I was confused and said that I am working.
That is weird. You're just like, no.
He then left, but I could see him through the camera outside the store drinking. A few hours passed by, and he was still waiting for me outside, so I had to use another exit when I left. The next day I came to work and saw him waiting for me outside of the store. He had a huge smile on his face and walked up to me. He was really shy and didn't say a word until I said hey while passing by to get into the store. He actually followed me inside and said he needed to talk with me. I asked him what was up, and he said, "How about we go to the movies?" He was really creepy, and I replied, "I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend, remember?" As I was walking away, he started following me and asked if he should come and help me with my work. "No thanks," I replied. Once again, I looked at the camera footage, and yet again, he was waiting for me outside. At this point, I started making a male coworker escort me safely to the tram every night when my shift ended.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, can someone please walk with me so I don't get taken or something?
Mm-hmm.
You never know what this person could do.
Obviously, this guy is infatuated.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm saying. Is this is creepy.
But he's not doing anything bad.
Exactly. He's in
just
a public
being
spot.
really weird.
He's in a public spot and ignoring your refusal. your refusal.
Yeah.
Refusal. I don't know how you say that.
Yeah.
You know,
I understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I started getting really scared once this had been going on for a while, and he clearly wouldn't leave me alone. I asked my brother if he could drive me to work on his motorcycle and hug me outside my workplace so it looked like he was my boyfriend, and James would maybe leave me alone, since I knew he was somewhere watching and waiting for me to get to work. But sadly, it didn't help. Started getting messages on my phone like, "Is that your boyfriend?" and "He doesn't need to know if we go out." I was confused by how he had gotten my number.
Wild.
I know, right? I asked all my coworkers, and a new one said that she had given him my number because he had said that he's a friend of mine. Oh, I was pissed.
I would be too. I'd be like, I don't know this guy.
Yeah.
And you just royally screwed me.
Oh, dude.
Because now you're sitting there going like, damn, my coworker just sold my number out basically to this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was persuasive.
But
Who
it's
knows?
true. I mean, if you're a charming dude and you're just like, "Hey, no, like I'm
Yeah.
her friend. I lost my phone. I was just wondering if like, you know, like if I could get her number." That there could be a person who might look at that and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be a good Samaritan and give you her number."
And you're probably not thinking twice that
Yeah.
they've been like weird and creepy and
Exactly.
stalking them
Yeah.
like at all. But
I would say just a quick note, let's not give out phone numbers
Yeah.
unless you ask the person
Yeah.
if it's okay.
yeah.
You
You're
know?
like, so this guy asked for your phone number. Is it okay if I gave it to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just
And
not
then,
do that.
and then you would know because she would tell you.
Yeah.
That's wild.
At this point, I asked my male coworkers to throw him out if he ever came back, which actually ended up being a lot. A couple of weeks went by though without any harassment, and I finally thought that he had left me alone. Boy, was I wrong. I came to work one day and was in the changing room, and I was in the changing room and heard that we have a new coworker and that it was his first day. I didn't think anything of it and proceeded to change my clothes.
No way.
Once I got out of the changing room, my jaw dropped. Another coworker said, "Hey, this is James." I looked in horror as she asked me what's wrong.
Tough.
I said, "I know this is the creep that has been stalking me for weeks." James just smiled. I went and searched for my boss to ask him what the fuck. My boss said he had no idea that this was my stalker and kind of laughed it off as no big deal. I told him either he leaves or I will. He said that I wouldn't have to work the same shift as James and he couldn't fire him. He lied. I had a lot of shifts with him, and wherever I went, he followed without saying a word, just kept following me. I would often have my lunch break by the computer so I could see where he was, and every day I could see him just staring at me behind me as I ate. We had cameras there also. This went on for a while. He would text me every day, but at work, he wouldn't say a word, just stare. After showing my boss, he finally understood what a freak James was and that he didn't do any work. He just stalked and stared. My boss started to think of ideas on how to fire him. One time I noticed James was clearly drunk at work and I told my boss. He got fired, and luckily, this is when the stalking finally stopped.
Wow. And this is the situation I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do anything about it.
And also,
it's just
you
like,
can't fire somebody at work without like probable cause or
Right,
whatever,
yeah.
right? Oh, jeez.
some sort of valid reasoning.
Yeah.
And then you're just sitting there now dreading your life because you have to go to work and now see this guy who's working there too.
Bro, that's such a
Insane.
jaw-dropping moment though, if you're changing and you come out and all of a sudden it's just the guy and he's in like your work attire and you're just like, no fucking way.
My heart would stop. Like,
I'd run away. I'd
I'd be like, can I
nah.
transfer to
Yeah.
somewhere else? Like, I gotta find a new job.
I mean, she did say like right in front of him, this is the guy that's been stalking me for weeks or whatever. And he's just sitting there like, yeah. Kiss my ass.
But if he's apparently drunk a lot, that's also very weird. It's like,
Yeah, maybe he has a substance problem.
yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But
Well,
regardless.
Thank you for your story. That
was wild.
sucks. I'm glad it stopped.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate that you had to go through that because I would hate my life
yeah, insane.
completely.
Insane.
Ugh. It'd be the worst couple months of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks again. Scary story. Well, story number 3, our last one.
Final story of the episode.
This one I have debated ever speaking about openly, mostly because of how strange the whole thing was. It happened 7 years ago, back in my hometown in California. I, being a 24-year-old female, was 17 at the time, and living with my mom and older sister in a tiny condo. We were a pretty devoutly Catholic family at the time and would attend holy adoration on Friday nights at our parish. Before we went, we ordered some pizza and chicken wings, but the delivery was pretty late, so we left without really touching our food, so we put it all away to eat after. When we got home, we discovered our back door had been left open. We began arguing over who left it open. We stepped inside and found a pretty strange scene. The pizza and chicken boxes were all sitting on the kitchen floor, stacked neatly on top of each other. We assumed our very food-motivated dog had something to do with it, still not fully aware of the situation. When picking up the boxes, we noticed bites had been taken from everything. I went into the living room and found a pile of pistachio shells sitting in the middle of the room. Now was about when we got scared, because no dog should be able to shell pistachios and pile them up in that way. My mom called a family friend over to help sort out what was going on. When he arrived, he seemed terrified and went home to grab his gun and was planning on staying the night in case anything more happened. By the time he went to get the gun, I had gone upstairs to go to bed. I was tired, scared, and hungry because my food I had anxiously been waiting to eat had seemingly been devoured by someone or something. My bed was pretty elevated off the ground and neatly made. My mom was with me and I was peeling the covers back to climb in and go to sleep. However, when I lifted up one of the decorative sham pillows, I found a chicken wing with a bite taken out on my pillow. My mom and I went silent and just stared at each other in disbelief, not sure what kind of sick joke this person thought they were pulling. Fast forward to me moving away to college a year later. I was in Kansas at a tiny liberal arts school hanging out with some friends in the dorms. My phone started ringing. I didn't answer. It rang again, so I looked at the screen to see it had no caller ID. I picked it up. A male voice that sounded familiar enough casually addressed me by my name and asked me how I was doing. I asked who it was, got no response, just heavy breathing. I asked again who it was and started to hear a bit of giggling and what sounded like, well, a man getting himself off. He finally answered in a much more serious tone that he knew me and would only reveal his identity if I helped him. I panicked and hung up, as one would, I would assume. That'd be weird, that just a random call. And this is why I don't answer calls with no
I don't
caller
either.
ID.
Yeah, I don't either.
Seconds later, he called again, taunting me. It was strange. I knew the voice, but I couldn't place it. I ran out of my friend's dorm and to the bathroom that he had excused himself to before the initial call came through and told him something weird was happening. The calls kept coming and I rejected them every time. Finally, my friend took the phone from my hand and told the guy to fuck off. That I wasn't interested in whatever it was I needed to help with him. The nasty sounds continued on the other line with some moaning and then silence.
So foul.
True. I've always wondered if the two were connected. I reported the incident to my college and local police were completely at a loss. All that could be offered was a student escort to walk me to my classes in case I was really being watched, as the guy on my phone seemed to imply. When the cops tried to trace calls and track the towers they had pinged off of it, it was in many different locations, none near me. I still feel like maybe the person who had entered my home and apparently ate my food in my bed might be behind those calls. What a strange encounter.
Yeah,
It's once again, it's no harm, but it's just so bizarre. It's like, why are you calling me? What is going on? Why am I hearing moaning and weird giggling?
well, the connection between the two is definitely strange.
But also, if the cops pinged it and it wasn't near her, that's also strange.
Yeah, it's a weird story for sure. There's a couple puzzle pieces that might not fit together there, but
Exactly. Yeah.
definitely strange.
I just
Have you ever
just
gotten
never
a-
pick up the no caller ID anymore.
I was going to ask if you ever gotten like a weird phone call before.
Only prank calls, but like nothing weird.
I got
Nothing like addressing me by name and saying all this crazy stuff. No, I've never had that.
Yeah, I got one time. I don't know. I don't remember when it was. I just know it was a while back, but freaked me out. It was in the middle of the night, and I don't answer calls that I get from random numbers, but they left a voicemail, so I listened to it, and it was this weird, like, high pitched, like, it was like cow, like hello, like kind of thing, and I was like. And then it kind of branched off and it sounded like two like people were talking, but they both were in like super high pitched voices. And I was just, you could chalk it up to probably like a prank call, but it was freaky. And I never heard anything back since that. You know what I mean? It was just like kind of a strange thing.
Yeah, that is quite interesting.
Spooked me out when I was, just chilling in my room.
I feel like a common thing in these stories are, well, besides the first one being more towards a male, but it seems like it's always happening to females all the time.
Oh, it is absolutely. I would say like the majority of the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that,
and it's like, you don't want them to go through life being scared. Like that sucks.
No. And I'm a believer that like, so might get me screwed up here, but I'm a believer that like men should be men,
mm-hmm.
Like obviously if you're not okay, that's fine, but I'm saying like, if you're a man, you need to like be a good man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that these men, I get, you could say maybe they have mental problems. I think a lot of them are just immature and they're insecure about themselves.
And they've probably had no consequence doing it prior.
That's
so what's to say that they're going to not have it now or stop?
That's my point is like, dude, when, I think that like there's a lot of men out there who we've talked about it before. They ruin, I mean, we're single still because we don't want to go and approach girls in bars because all we hear from our friends that are girls are the horror stories of the guys who approach them in bars.
Or just in general. And
I know that there's a lot of good men who are in the same situation that we are, where it's like, we just don't want to scare women. Like I don't ever want to be in a position where like I would make a woman feel uncomfortable. That sucks. I don't ever want to.
Because then you feel bad about yourself.
Exactly.
Because that's the human nature of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to make anyone feel bad.
No, of course not. But it's also tough because it's like, well, then how the hell am I supposed to meet a girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, I'm not. Yeah. Basically my point is that if you're a man and you think a girl is cute or whatever, dude, you need to just go at it a smarter way. Like these women are not objects. They're not things that you can just have or do whatever. It's like,
and then toss to the side.
Yeah, they're human beings. You can't just like call somebody and like beat your meat and just like expect that to be an okay thing to do. That just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, I think like men, we need to be better. We need to be men. We need to bring that back. And we could go into a whole conversation about women too. But I do think that like, yeah, man, we have a responsibility to look out for one another. And yeah, we have a responsibility to look out for women, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think like, I think there's definitely a line. Like I'm not like a white knight or whatever, that like phrase or whatever. I'm not on the internet being like, oh, this guy's no, I'm just saying like, there's such a difference between being a good man versus the men that are in these stories the majority of the time. If you're stalking somebody, you need to know it's wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
Regardless of a man or a woman, I mean, you need to stop. Like it's just not.
And I think
right.
the thing is, they don't think they're wrong.
Exactly. That I guess that's my whole point. Is like morality seems like it's been slipping away with the rise of social media.
Yes.
A lot more is like a lot more or immoral behavior
Mhm.
is becoming accepted by
And it's because of
people.
not having consequence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
But I also am not like a big believer in cancel culture.
No.
Like you shouldn't lose your job over saying something, but
Unless it was like directed at somebody.
yeah.
That's a little different.
Yeah, we
But
could
if you
go into
just,
this
like,
whole thing.
yeah, there's a
Just
whole-
Regardless, the whole point is stop stalking. that's the whole point. The hell is that?
Emergency alert.
From what?
It says the Denver police have issued a all clear to threaten the area in Gunnison. That was loud.
Freaked me the hell out, boy.
Surprised you didn't get that. That was
No,
crazy.
I didn't get it. I'll probably get it here in a second.
Yeah.
Well, I also am in Do Not Disturb.
Well, so am I.
Oh, wow. Well,
Well,
that's interesting.
We'll cut that, but wild.
Anyway, my whole point is just don't stalk.
Stalker in the area.
Yeah, just don't stalk, you know.
Yeah,
and we need
completely.
to be better towards one another. We need to be nicer. Everybody has feelings and emotions and things like that. People are not objects. We must treat them as such.
Exactly.
And with that, as we wind, well, first of all, if you agree with me, let me know. Let us know down in the comments. If you don't, let us know down in the comments. Need that engagement. If you want to say, screw you, Cal, you're trash, please just comment. We'll like it. We'll post it. Engagement. That's all. That's all we need. Anyway, as we wind down our episode for the week, I think that we can reflect on these stories. I grew up thinking that people were all good. They had morals, and doing weird things like what we heard in these stories only happened in the movies. Then I grew up. Now, I think we all know that morals are actually quite hard to come by. If for some strange reason people become infatuated with others, is because they don't know how to handle the feelings, or, you know, is it because the idea that the person makes them think all the ways that they know they're flawed? There's so many different things that could be the reason for this, but regardless, we here at the Supernaturals urges those who may have similar stories to come forward and do not be afraid to tell someone. People are psychotic and you must protect yourself.
Absolutely.
On the flip side of the coin, if you are listening and you find yourself relating to any of the stalkers in these stories, then please get the help that you need and stop it. No means no. Handle the rejection like everybody else and move on.
You ask them out. You can attempt the one time, and if they say no, you just take it and go, okay, have a good day, and you leave. And
I
don't think about it again.
Do want to throw something out there really quick. So for our listeners, I'm a 6'7" dude, right? Played football, work out, all that jazz. I can handle myself in a fight, obviously, but even I keep my head on a swivel. Like when I come out of a grocery store late at night, I put this is one thing my dad taught me. I put the little key fob between my fingers like I'm Wolverine. Seriously, if somebody comes up to you and they grab you, you can actually use that key and you're supposed to punch them right in the balls. But I do that every time I leave a grocery store at night.
Grabbing you, yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just you have the little thing.
You fight dirty.
Yeah, fight dirty.
You have
that's
to.
what you do. But that's
Fighting
tip.
for your life.
That's a tip. I would just do that. That's what I do.
Mhm.
Seriously. So if anybody comes across you and grabs you, use that key, punch them right in the balls. You have to be ready for anything and everything. I also know the feeling of thinking that somebody's following you home. That's what we talked about earlier.
Mhm.
If you think that is happening to you, then drive straight to a police station. Do not drive home. That way they do not know where you live.
Exactly.
A couple tips here from us at the Supernaturals. And the biggest tip that we have is the golden rule, which is what, Jake?
I'm checking around. Keep your head on a swivel, people.
Keep your head on a swivel. Exactly. And with that, we conclude this week's episode of the Supernaturals podcast. Be smart, be safe, and we'll see you around the graveyard.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Supernaturals. Be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platforms. See you around the graveyard.